slides? There you go. All right, so I'd first of all like to introduce the Isaac team, and you are probably very familiar with their names, voices, and faces. Judy Shapiro, Isaac's sponsorship specialist, and Tony Nieder, Isaac's exhibitor sales specialist. And I know they've been working hard behind the scenes to make sure people are here this morning and for our session later this afternoon. So thank you very much, Judy and Tony. I'd also like to introduce our good friends from Encore, who we're working with to put on Isaac Connect. And first of all, we have Cedric. What's the correct pronunciation of your last name, Cedric?
The French way or the English way?
En français, s'il vous plaît.
Guenard or Guenard.
Guenard, okay. And Cedric's claim to fame is that he is actually French from Paris, I believe.
From the south of France, but yes.
Okay. Thank you. So from the south of France, as opposed to Quebec. So welcome. We're glad to have you this morning, Cedric, and also Cedric's compatriots, partner in crime, whatever label you want to attach, Aaron Randall. Aaron, thank you very much for being here this morning as well.
You're welcome.
So just very briefly, and then I want to hand it over to both Cedric and Aaron. The purpose of this morning's webinar is just to give our exhibitors and sponsors a really solid feel for the Encore platform, how it's going to work, what the next number of weeks are going to look like in terms of getting ready for Isaac Connect, and really most importantly, how the Encore Chime platform is really going to be well positioned to generate a return for being at Isaac Connect, and how it and the many different ways it has to engage all of our stakeholders and our attendees, and hopefully bring them to you, and hopefully bring a lot of traffic and a lot of positive vibe your way. So without further ado, I'm going to stop my screen sharing, and I'm going to hand it over to Cedric and Aaron. So take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Franklin. Hello, everyone. So I'm with Encore. We're supporting Isaac team with delivering and producing this event. Will be a virtual event, and we're going to be using a virtual venue platform called Chime. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to explain you the path for the attendees to come to your booth. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the platform, but more how the attendees will get to your booth to connect with you. Okay, so I'm going to start share my screen. Bear with me. Okay, share. Okay, Franklin, can you confirm, do you see my screen correctly? Okay, great. So this is the login page where your attendees will put their email address and password. This is a demo site, so obviously everything is branded Encore, but for this event, it will be branded Isaac Connect. Okay, so login page, they click, they land directly on the welcome note. And what you see here, it's a web page. All the attendees use the same URL address, so the same website address to join the virtual venue platform. So they land on the welcome note. There is a few modules here, and I'm not going to cover each one of them because we really want to focus today on the trade show and on your booth. So some common module, bios, the agenda, resources, chat. So that's all where your attendee is going to leave and going to join every session, every e-poster, and anything that is related to the event. That's the central point. That's the platform. Okay. So, oh, sorry, I don't see my, I didn't set up correctly my screen. There is, oops, it's here. So this is the, so they're gonna click on Exhibitor floor. It might be a different name for the event, maybe trade show, or that's something that's gonna, you'll see as soon as we'll give you access to the platform. But the exhibitor hall, the virtual exhibit hall will look like this. So this is branded again to Encore, but each one of the booth here will be branded to with your name on it and your logo. I'm going to hand it over to Aaron. Aaron is the exhibitor specialist, part of our digital team here, and he's going to explain you step by step what the benefits are using the platform and how to engage with your attendees. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Aaron, if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take over as soon as you stop sharing. Yes. There. I can share my screen and we can go through more of a deeper dive into the exhibit booth, and we can kind of go through, some of the pieces that you'll need to submit in order for us to build that content. So
we should be able to share now.
Looks like we're good. And let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we do.
Great. Okay. Hello, my name is Aaron Randall. I'm with Encore's virtual exhibit support team. My main role with the company is to work with the exhibitors to gather content to build their booth and to support them throughout the whole process. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into an exhibit booth and we'll have a look. So this is our platinum level exhibit booth. So what I'll do is I'll go through some of the different pieces that you'll need to submit, and we'll go through that whole process of how you would send us content. And then we can also look at the timelines involved in the whole process. So at the very top, you'll see there's a logo. So that's a piece that is mandatory you'll need to submit. There will be a section on the plan, that looks like this. So you'll have your logo with your company name. With the logo, it is recommended to have a squared logo if possible, and not too much detail. It will be fairly small on the platform. So below that, we'll have your rotating banner. So there's a maximum of 6 images here, and we're looking for a 6:16 ratio. So you can click through these images or they'll rotate automatically every 5 seconds. And then below we have your exhibitor web link. So this would be your main website. Below that, you get a 150-word intro paragraph, and that can be just describing your company or your products or services. And then below that, we have some social media links. There's a place for a video. We also add 6 more images here. So this is we call it our image gallery. So if you click on this, the image will pop out to full screen. You click again, it goes away. Now for external links or PDFs, we have 4 external link buttons. So what we're looking for here is the display text for each button. And this can be linked to a URL, or it can be linked to a PDF file. So if you wanted to have a handout or a downloadable PDF, we can add that here to one of these external link buttons. And we can also add any website to this. So below that is sort of our area where the attendees of the conference can reach out and connect with you. So first, I'll go through our contact form. So it's really a simple form where they would fill out their name, their email, company, and message. If they click submit, the exhibitor would receive all the content of that message. We allow the exhibitors to have one custom question added here. So that can be a multiple choice or a yes or no or anything. So we can add one custom question field to that area. And then below our next, we have our meeting scheduler. So this is fairly simple. We have 4 booth reps here. And if I wanted to connect with Andy, I would send him a note saying I wanted to meet Wednesday at 4 p.m. I would fill out my name and my email, and then I would click submit. Andy would receive that email with a notification that I wanted to meet with him at 4 p.m. And then at that point, it's up to the exhibitor to follow up with Andy or it's up to Andy to follow up with the attendee that, with either a phone number or some sort of virtual link at that point. Then next we have our join the meeting button. So this would be a Zoom link. We're allowing exhibitors to submit their own Zoom or Teams, WebEx, any platform that you feel comfortable with. We can supply that Zoom link, but there is an extra cost for that. And then lastly, there's a live text chat option. So if an attendee came to the booth, they would be able to just type in a quick message and have a quick chat back and forth with the exhibitor. So there's lots of ways for the attendees to connect. There's some great tools there. So we've seen some people in the past put prize draws for their contact form. So we can change the title of contact us to click here to win a prize. And then when people fill out your form, you would get a list of the different people that you've connected with, and then you could offer prize draws, that sort of thing. So lastly, before I get into the content submission form, is an area that is fairly useful for the exhibitors. We call it our exhibitor visitor data module. So every exhibitor would have access to this, and it would be only to their booth. So they would see a logo. Once they click on the exhibitor visitor data, they would have their logo. And if they were to click that, they would see the name, email, job title, company, and the time visit of anybody that's been to their booth. So it's a great tool. This gets updated every minute, so they'd know if somebody's been to their booth recently. They would have their email. They can export this information as an Excel file. So it's a great tool, and it'll tell you total booth views and how many unique visitors have been to that exhibit booth as well.
So Aaron, can I just
go ahead.
in for one
Sure.
quick second? We have our first question for today. So
Sure, go ahead.
We'll have to figure out what that person gets as a prize for putting in the first question.
Great.
But this goes back to what you were showing a moment ago about people being able to make appointments online with individual exhibitor reps. And
Yes.
the question is, does the exhibitor set the time for the live meeting times? I'm assuming, does the exhibitor have control themselves over what times each rep is available?
Yeah, so as they're filling out the online submission form, there's a series of questions. If they select the yes, they wanted to add a meeting scheduler, there would be a series of questions of days and times that they were available, what time zone they're in. And so they would be able to set their schedule ahead of time. If they were only available, during the conference hours, or if they wanted to be available after the conference, then yes, they've got control over that. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll kind of go through our online content submission forms. So I believe Tony will be emailing you these as exhibitors register. You would get an email with a link, and it would bring you to a site that looks like this. So this is how we're gathering all the content to build that exhibit booth. So it'd be a series of questions. At the very start, there would be a PDF. If you right click, it would lay out all the files required and just sort of a brief breakdown on the requirements for each element within the booth. So it'd be a series of questions. What's the name of your booth? What's your name? First and last, email. So it'd just be one question at a time. You're able to drag and drop your images for your logo here. Your paragraph you can enter here, that's capped at 150 words. So it's just a series of questions. You would add your PDFs if necessary. And so you would add all the information that's required. So it would just be a series of questions. So I recommend for everybody to gather their content ahead of time, have it ready. And then this process is fairly easy. It's 31 questions. It would take you about 10 minutes to fill everything out if you had all those files. And then when you get to the very end, you just click submit, and then Andy and myself would receive an email notification, and that's how we gather the content to build these exhibit booths. Okay, so yeah, I'd just like to jump in on the timelines involved for everything. So we're looking at a due date of next week, I believe, for submission of content. And then what we like to do is to give exhibitors early access to the site. Once everything's built and ready, we would email you through Chime. So you would look for an email from Chime Live, and that would have a link to the site, your password, which is a unique password. And then you would go in, you would look at your booth. So you'd have access only to the exhibitor module at that time. You'd go in and you'd view your booth. You could view the other booths as well. And you could just make any updates or changes at that time. So we're looking at July 28th for that email to go out or earlier. And then at that time, you would receive a second link. So similar to the link where you submitted content, you would get a second link where if there were any updates or changes, you would just send through on that second link, which is an updates or changes link. And there'd be a final cutoff for that as well, which I believe is August 4th or around there. So we want to try and make sure that the site is completely built and tested well before the conference starts. Any other questions at this time?
I don't see any, Aaron. I'll happily jump in at an appropriate pause.
Yeah,
when some questions get.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm available anytime. So email is the best way to get a hold of me. Very busy, but always able to respond quickly to email. So if there's any questions in the next few days, feel free to reach out through email.
So we do have a question that was just submitted. And it is, will booth visits automatically trigger emails?
No. So if somebody visits your booth, you can see that information through the exhibitor visitor data. But only way that an email would be triggered if somebody went to your booth and they clicked on the contact us or the meeting scheduled button and submitted content. Those would go through your email, and then yeah, that would be it.
Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
And to add to that, this is something on the booth that is very important. Have access to the data and check your data as much as possible. So you'll see how many people visited your booth. So you can reach out, you can send an email. So this is really an important piece of the trade show and saying, how many people visited your booth. So check as much as possible the data on your booth, so you'll see that who visited your booth. Some people will fill in the forms, maybe request a meeting or join your a video meeting, a video live meeting. But this is really to see the traffic on your booth.
So Cedric, one thing that it would be interesting to spend a few minutes on is to get a sense from you about how some of the other conferences that you've put on and exhibitor sponsor experiences, and how exhibitors have made use of the platform to to try and generate excitement, traffic, some of the tricks, tools, tips. Anything that you can share that would be helpful to the people on the call today.
Absolutely. Obviously, getting as much branding on the booth as possible. So use the banner image to promote something that is important for your organization. The video that you can embed to the booth is also something, doesn't have to be like a corporate video or a video that is an advertising. Can be something that you recorded that is dedicated to the event. So maybe you can record a video that says, welcome to our booth, and give some explanation about your organization and what you're offering, and what kind of services or products or any solution. That's really one of the very engaging tool. Of course, the links are important if you want to generate traffic on your website. If you have any documentation and brochure, make a use of the links and or the PDF. So at the bottom of the, I'm going to share my screen again so I can show you here. So sorry, the banner that's here again, the video, that's this small video here. I'm going to play the video so you can see moving. So that can be a recorded video as mentioned. Here you have those 4 boxes here that can be used as an external link, and as Aaron mentioned, that can also be a PDF, a document. So if you have a brochure or something that you want to share with the attendees, you know, the same way you will have something on your booth in the live condition. That's a nice to put there, to put something. And this is the contact and appointment portion. Those 4 boxes here are really what's going to drive engagement on your booth. The meeting scheduler. So this is awesome, because you can set up a period of time where the attendees can meet with you or someone on your team. So I would say that's something that is really used a lot. The live talk live on video. So it's using Zoom or WebEx or Teams, so any video conferencing system that you're comfortable with, that you want to use. That's great to really engage two-way with video and audio with people. So you can have someone living on that call and greet attendees. Contact us, it's a form. Aaron mentioned something very interesting on the contact form to generate leads. He mentioned I can add a box to that form, so that can be a prize or a gift card or anything that can generate more leads for your attendees. So this is something that I would recommend to add. The paragraph of text. I mean, you have a limitation of 150, I think, characters.
That's
Aaron?
correct. Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be very formal about your organization. It can be something that is, a pitch about what you're offering for that specific event for ISAC Connect. You can put something about a draw or price for, I don't know, the first attendees to reach out, or the first one to submit a form. Yeah, that's the chat. It's nice as well. Not sure how on this specific event how the attendee is going to be responding to the live chat, but this is a great tool for the attendees to connect with you. The image gallery is nice. Doesn't have to be an image. You can create a graphic. Doesn't have to be a picture. So it could be text too. It could be, I don't know, something about an upcoming product or service or anything. It could be just a graphic. So you can come up with an image file, but that can be a text. That could be a combination of text and image. Same for the banner. The banner doesn't have to be just like an image. It can be a text. That can be something you can promote here. If you want to manage a draw for the exhibitor that visits your booth, you can put that here. You can come up with a graphic with a nice text. So it doesn't have to be an image. It can be also something graphic with text. Yeah, that's pretty much. Have teams to support you. You don't want to be overwhelmed with people. So I would say don't be just in charge of the booth. Same thing that live booth. So get your team to work with you, and maybe one person can take care of the video, the Zoom call that you want to set up. Someone can take care of the live chat. And maybe another person in charge of moving them. That's a suggestion. It can be the same person, but if you have team members that can support you during the event, I would recommend that. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Cedric, and thank you, Aaron. We'll give another couple of minutes if anyone has any follow-up questions. Just a couple of points from Isaac's end. We released a new Isaac Connect promotional video yesterday. I believe you would have received an e-blast with that video link that is posted on our website on the Isaac Connect section of the website, and it's up on our YouTube channel as well. So check that out. It gives a nice overview of all the different moving parts that are involved in putting on a virtual event like this. And here I thought it was going to be easier than doing an in-person conference, but yet again, I've been proven wrong, but that's fine. The other nice thing about this session this morning, and I want to thank everyone again for attending, this is precisely the type of thing we're looking forward to hosting at Isaac Connect, because we literally have people on this morning's webinar from North America, Europe, and Asia. And this is the real power of the tool, is being able to pull people in from literally all around the world. So that's what we're hoping for, and we're very confident that between our team here at Isaac Connect and our friends at Encore, we're going to be able to put on a great sponsor and exhibitor experience for all of you. So I have one thank you in the question box, and then one follow-up question, Cedric, as well. So we did get thanks for the detailed instructions with appreciations, and they're looking forward to Isaac Connect. So thank you, Cedric and Aaron. And then as far as the follow-up question, there was a request to just give us a quick walkthrough of the gold booth.
I could do that. I could jump in and share a screen really quick. Sorry, I missed that part, but all the elements that are in a gold booth are also in our platinum. Just a few things are kind of removed from that. So let me just make sure I'm sharing my screen. So here's our gold booth. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we do now.
Okay, great. So our gold booth is just a little pared down from our platinum. We have no image files, so the banner and the image gallery are removed, but we do have a video, social media links, the external links, all the same. And for our areas of contacts and appointments, we have no live text chatting, but we do have the meeting scheduler, we do have the contact form, and we do have the Zoom, the live meeting button. So it's really just exactly the same as a platinum with 3 elements removed. So no images, no banners, no image gallery, and no live text chatting, but everything else is the same.
May I just jump in for a second, please?
Sure.
Okay, so when you are a platinum exhibitor, that if you look at the sponsorship package, and if you don't happen to have it still, I'll be happy to send it to you. But you become then a sponsor of Isaac Connect. So there are a whole host of sponsorship benefits that come with being a platinum exhibitor. So I'm happy to go over that with whoever's interested in that piece of it. But I just wanted to make note that it's not just the difference between what's removed from platinum to go to gold or anything like that. There's definitely specific differences in that. If you're a platinum, you're also considered a sponsor of Isaac Connect, and therefore there's benefits. So I'm happy to just email me at Isaac, and I will send that to you, or we can arrange an appointment to speak about it further. That's the major distinction as well. Thanks.
And we did have a request to be able to share the link of our new promotional video, which is on our YouTube channel. So we will get that out to everyone, and by all means, feel free to to link to it on your own website, and we're thankful and grateful for any additional support that you guys can offer. So much appreciated. Thank you. So if there are no other questions, I don't want to hold, I know everyone's either at the beginning of their day or in the middle of the day or at the end of their day, depending on where you are in the world. So I don't want to hold anyone up unnecessarily. So thank you very much to our friends at Encore. Cedric and Aaron, thank you. And we'll look forward to seeing you again at 4 o'clock today for our second session, where we're trying to make things a little bit easier for our friends in the other part of Asia and Australia and New Zealand. And thank you, Judy and Tony, for being here. And of course, shouldn't say of course, most important, a big thank you to our exhibitors and sponsors who are on today. Much appreciate you having you here. And by all means, if there are any follow-up questions, I think you have Judy's email address, judy@isaac-online.org, Tony's email address, tony@isaac-online.org. And you can always email me, and if it's a specific question for Cedric or Aaron or Encore, we'll happily forward all those. So no problem. Wonderful. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys.